What do we got here? A little 305 Pro Poulan. You ain't a pro unless you're pulling. Oops. Saw here is dear to me as well, actually. A little story time, okay? I know some people like the story time, some people don't, but I gotta let you know about this saw. This saw here was the first saw I think I've ever used, if I'm not mistaken. And I've been looking for one for a while, and I finally found it. I did do some work to it already. I did bring it to the races. I didn't get any footage on that though, sorry, I apologize. But you'll see the cylinder work that I did do to it, but I have different ideas with this. But anyhow, back to the story. I think it was 7 or 8, maybe 9 years old. And believe it or not, my grandmother, she used to cut her firewood, right? She had this saw sitting in her basement, and I said, "Grandma, what are you doing with that saw?" She said, "Riley, if you want it, you can have it." I said, "Okay, sounds good." So I brought it home, got it running, worked good. I don't think I cut anything with it. The story behind this was I actually took the handle off, cut the handle off, took the bar chain, all that stuff off, and I put it on a pedal bike. That was my first experience with motors, believe it or not. Whenever I was really young, I used to pedal bike around a lot. Growing up in a small town, you know, there's a big garbage day, big garbage pickup, and I used to have a little wagon behind my pedal bike, and I'd find either chainsaws in the garbage or pedal bikes and weedies, sometimes lawnmowers, and that's where it all started for me. Theoretically, I know I said it started at the shop. That's whenever I started really getting into porting saws, was at the shop. But yeah, this saw was my first saw that I didn't actually do any cutting with. I just wanted to put it on a pedal bike, and it kind of worked. I think I scooted around the yard once or twice with it, and then I forget exactly what happened. Something happened, I think clutch or something like that, because I had to weld a chain drive on there instead of you know, this style of chain. You know, the pedal bikes, that's the sprockets that go into the chain, not the chains that have the teeth on it. Anyhow, you understand what I'm saying. But yeah, I don't know where it went. I don't think I have it anymore. But my dad helped me with that too, because I was young. My mom thought I was crazy, but it was fun. That was my fun growing up in a small town, and this saw really started it for me. But anyhow, we'll get into this saw. I did do just mild port work to this. I brought my exhaust up a little bit of intake, and I can't remember if I did transfers or not with this. This was only about a month ago that I got this saw, and not even a month ago. When was the races? Last weekend? 2 weekends ago? Yeah, so I probably got this saw about 3 weeks ago, and I did it all in one night, me and a friend of mine. But there's more that could happen to it. I didn't even run this saw in the races. It was actually one of our buddies that ran this saw, Teddy. He had the 391 in that there. But I know there's more potential out of this saw. The cylinder, I know it is open transfers, so that I don't really like that. Sorry, I sound like a Canadian lad that a lot of people dislike. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but I will. Anyhow, I'm going to do some different work on this cylinder. I have an idea, okay? Get a look at this cutaway. So I'll get my point and stick in here, and I'll try to explain to you what I'm thinking. Okay, that's intake. That's exhaust. A lot of people, well, 90% of the people, they put their transfers into the back side, so whenever your transfer's open, it swishes around, and then your other side swishes around as well, and it pushes more out the exhaust, right? That theory is correct, 100%. I want to go a little bit wider with the exhaust, and I'm going to put fingers in this saw as well if I can. I don't remember exactly how close or how much room I have, but I want to put a finger in the front and in the back, but I want my front finger to open just a slight bit more than my rear. My theory on that is that, especially running in stock appearance but modified, you can't really run like a crazy pipe or anything, right? So yeah, you can probably get a bit more back pressure, but the only thing you can really do to the stock mufflers is drill some holes. So if you're drilling holes that come straight out, you know, straight out the side, so you have better airflow, right? Well, why can't you put a little bit more on the front side, so the front comes out a bit more and it actually pulls more vacuum out? You know, your exhaust opens, it pulls a little bit from your bottom, and then it comes down a little bit more, and then it pulls it out even more. I'm not talking a lot, I'm just talking very, very minimal. A lot of people don't do that, and the old lad that used to build saws that I got a lot of my knowledge from, he was kind of explaining that to me as well, and I didn't really understand it, because yes, you do want that, you want that swirl, right? But if you can get it, if you can get your transfer to open up and also your exhaust to pull more as well, instead of what, 5 psi pressure in your base or whatever, instead of using just your pressure to pull it up, why can't you use your exhaust gas and unburnt gas and all that stuff to actually pull it even more? But I know that's why a lot of times you put fingers in the back as well, yes. But I'm gonna try to do, I'm gonna put fingers in the back as well, but I'm just gonna do very small ones, very, very small ones in the front that crack open just a little bit before. Because I do have plans to change this cylinder to either 0.26 or something else. I'm not actually gonna use this cylinder per se. I just like the body of this saw. It's mid to late 80s, I think, if I'm not mistaken, like 85, 88, somewhere around there, with the steel brake. But yeah, so we'll start dipping into this saw and I'll show you exactly what I mean. I know it's kind of hard to explain, but I think most of you guys understand what I'm getting at. So I'll put you on hold, I'll tear her down a little bit, and we'll get into it. Well, that was a pretty cool little, is it called time lapse? My phone, it says hyper speed. I kind of like that. I think I'm going to do that for the rest of my builds, I think. Then I really don't have to edit any of it. And I can talk more, I guess, and not have to edit my talking out. We got our numbers for this saw. After I ported it, so the original numbers on this saw, I did write down the original numbers. The original numbers was 102 with base gasket. No, sorry, no, I took the base gasket out. That's right. That's right. Original numbers 102 on the exhaust. Transfers was 125, and the intake was 141. The port job that I did on it, it was relatively quick. Nothing too crazy. I went 98 on the exhaust just because I wanted to know how much ripums I can get out of this guy. I kept it 125. That's going to change. I'm going to have to change it regardless. And the intake was 144 after I was done with it. I was aiming for 125, and anyhow, there was a couple cold snacks involved with this as well. So, and it still ran good. Like came 5th in its class, I think. No, sorry, that's a lie. It came 6th. It was the other saw that came 5th. But anyhow, so the numbers that I'm gonna try to shoot for with this one, because this is gonna be a full-on cookie cutter screamer, I'm gonna play around with a couple different numbers. You know what? I'm not gonna tell you the numbers yet. I'm gonna do another one of those. You know, the video this big and then it turns into this big, you know. I'll do another one of those because I like that. That's neat. I'm going to do that for the rest of them. So I'll put you on another one of those guys and I'll come right back and tell you the numbers. But actually, you know what? I think I'll take this apart and I'll talk a little bit and I'll show you the inside of this and the work that I have done already. But yeah, I'll take this off and I'll show you. I'll show you what I mean. Keep that handy. Keep that handy for whenever I need to look at it again. What is going on here, you little bugger? That's not the right one. Come on, you should know this. You just had this apart. A little tight. That's alright. I did put this saw back together without a base gasket. And I'll just give it a little taparoonie. There we go. Just like that. The stuff that I like to use for the base gaskets, I'll show you here in a second. Whenever I go with no base gasket, I like to use this stuff here. Just Red RTV by Permatex. Works pretty good, that stuff. I like it. I've never had any serious issues with it. But I mean, there's a lot of them work good, but you got to make sure your surfaces are clean, right? If your surfaces aren't clean, then you're not going to get a good hold. So that's the way she goes with that. Yeah, I don't know what I want to do with this saw yet, to be honest with you. I have ideas, and I'm kind of just jumping back and forth a wee bit, contemplating what I want to do. I think I might even try to shave this head down a wee bit, because yeah, I think I'm gonna shave this head down a wee bit as well. Might have to run it over to my buddy's place, put it on the lathe. That would be a good idea. Okay, well, I'll get you in here and I'll show you guys what I did so far on this. It was very, very, very quick, and we were a little bit wobbly that night, so I'm actually kind of surprised. I haven't looked in here since we did that. I did a little bit. My friend Joel did a little bit as well. Well, he doesn't get into that wobbly stuff there, but he's always the DD, poor guy. But I was a little bit wobbly that night, and Matt was too. But really didn't turn out that bad, to be honest with you. Not too bad. Could be better, but I'll get you in here, show you. Yeah, definitely could have been better. we cut the side out, and then we just put that little guy in there right at the top just to give it a bit more, and then we cut the back side out a little bit. The intake, somebody did a uh-oh on the intake, so I'll have to fix that up a little bit. That's minor. And the exhaust actually didn't turn out too bad. Like, it's not perfectly polished. I'd polish it more, of course, but really didn't turn out that bad considering I don't really remember doing this. Good job, Wobbly Riley. Oh, you know, Friday nights, sometimes you can just, you shoot the shit and whatnot. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that on here, but yeah, so it looks like we have enough room to put small, very small fingers in this. Very small fingers. Because my plan with this saw is to actually not use this cylinder at all. I'm thinking, what I am thinking, GIMP 200 series that I was building. I showed you guys that in the previous video. That's going to be my cylinder head for the cut top. But, oh, it looks pretty freaking close, but it's not. Anyhow, I had ideas to put a 272 top end on this, but that's not gonna, it's not gonna work now. There was maybe a 026 might work. I do have a 026 cylinder right here. Too small as well. And actually, it's not even, it's a completely different bore as well. This bore is bigger. I thought they were pretty close then, but I guess they are not. Okay, well, scratch that idea for now. But anyhow, I was going to show you roughly what I meant and what I wanted to do, but that's all right. We'll make this one. We'll make this one boogie the way that we would want it to. Still not sure numbers for this saw. I know I can cut it down. That I know, because we didn't do 0 with the squish other than taking the base gasket out, because the squish number is real fat on this one. Okay, well, I'm going to pick my brain for a second and think about what exactly I'm going to do with this saw. And I will put you guys on one of those, you know, video this big to video this big thing. You know what I mean? But let's see how many beavers this thing can make. Well, we're getting somewhere. As you can see, I cut down the sides of the piston a little bit. I drilled some holes on the side. That'll go right into the transfers, right through. And I put my little divot here. I couldn't really do my drill bit technique on this one. There just wasn't enough room, so I'll have to, I just have to sand all that down, get all the rough edges out, and should be good. And I mean, if I'm actually kind of curious to see how these holes are going to work. Hopefully I didn't drill them up too far or whatnot, but I am just running a single ring, so I think it should be all right. But yeah, looking pretty good there. And then I didn't do a finger in the front. I only did fingers in the back. I didn't do any on that side. I was really contemplating doing it, but I think we'll try it like that, and see how that goes, because this cylinder is actually pretty near pooched anyhow. As you can see, the guy that I got it from kind of took all the threads right out of the spark plug hole, so I think there's only 2 or 3 that are actually grabbing. So this will just be a play cylinder for now, and see how it goes. I just have a little bit of cleaning up left. I'll do that off camera, and then we'll put it back together and see how she sounds. Okay, we got our glue on there, and it's starting to get a little tacky, and that's perfect. That's what I like. It's I really enjoy that stuff. There's a whole bunch of different brands out there and whatnot, and I've tried a lot of different ones as well. But this is the brand that works best for me. I find it really holds them down. Like, you need a little mallet or something to take it off, eh? But I can start these saws up pretty near right away with this stuff, as opposed to some of the other stuff. It takes 24 hours or whatever to cure. Now, I'm just gonna let it sit there for a second, let it adhere a little bit, you know. I did go ahead and clean up exhaust a little bit more because well, there's a couple cold ones whenever we did do that. It's not a good time to do that whenever you have a couple cold snacks in your pocket. I set something down, I have it in my hand, and I say, okay, I'm putting it right here. Make sure that I don't lose it. And then I forget where I put the damn thing. So I did go a little bit more on the intake. And exhaust, I went 1 degree higher. Not much, just 1 degree. And it seems to well, I shouldn't say it seems to like it. I haven't even tried it yet, but I think she'll be good. Click. Right around there. Make sure you always use a torque wrench on these. Click. See? Perfect. So whenever you get you know, you start tightening something down and your wrist clicks there, that's whenever you know she's good and tight. Alrighty, well, we'll put this back together. I'll put you on one of those fast travel. Well, pretty near all ready to go. I put just a hint of nitro, and I think this sucker is gonna boogie. I am very excited to hear this thing run, especially after some of the stuff that I touched up with it. I think she's gonna have all the beaver power now. She'll be cutting down trees left, right, and center, and dicing them up and splicing them and doing all the stuff they need to do. So let's get into it and let's give her a little burn here. How's that? Probably just fire right up. A little bit more compression. I did take the cylinder down a wee bit. A little bit of throttle. Wow. Can't wait to go and try that out in some wood. Because that, I am almost positive, will boogie. That thing's got some beavers now. Oh yeah. Wow. Wow. I have no words. I have absolutely no words. This thing was a dog whenever I first got it. And then we had that little wobbly night there, and we did her with the wobbly tune, you know. And it was alright. It wasn't anything to yell and scream over and make a huff, but now this thing is gonna move. I did hollow out the carburetor. I don't know if I got that in the videos or not, but I opened the carb up quite a bit actually. Let it breathe a bit more. Wow. I cannot wait to try this thing in some wood. This is going to be awesome. Anyhow, I'll leave you at that. I'll put a bar chain on it, and probably make a video tomorrow. I'm not sure exactly when. No, I should be able to make a video tomorrow. If not, I'm going into the bush probably Saturday or Sunday, and I'll stick it into some wood then. Maybe I'll bring a couple other saws with me as well. I don't know. Put her down in the comments what saws you guys want to see for either Sunday's video or Monday's video, if you guys want to see some saws running. Any of the ones that I have in my collection. You guys are more than welcome to put her down in the comments and see which one you want to see running. Anyhow, until the next time, stay tuned.